Hello, and welcome to Grace Talks with the Reader Family. I'm Tim,
And I'm Sue.
and we are going to have a little fun subject today. Please ignore the glare. We're still having issues with our recording studio setup.
And ignore dog sounds. We have two dogs.
Yet we have a little wiener dog that's getting all of our attention right at the moment. You know how wiener dogs are. There is no personal space. Every space is theirs. So, anyways, I believe I have been teaching something wrong for all this time. And now we're getting to the meat of it. People have always asked me, what does it take to be saved? And I've always said, believe. Believe is what it takes. Belief is the big thing. If you believe, it says, whoever believes shall be saved. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son. This is the ESV version, not the King James. So that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. Now I've hung on that believe part forever. Forever. And the problem is I didn't look into the word believe. Believe means more. So I actually broke it down. My wife's here to help me break it down, or break me. I'm not sure which is going to happen. But anyways, the Greek word for belief is, let's say I can say this right, pisteuo. That's hard to say. Pisteuo.
Pisteuo.
Pisteuo. And it has a bigger meaning. But let's talk about where the word comes from. It actually comes from the noun pistis. Easier to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually translated faith. That's usually what it means. But in modern English, the word believe usually means I think it's true. Therefore it is. That kind of thing. But in reality, first century Greek, pisteuo meant a lot more. And it's important to get to that too. Because it meant to trust, to rely upon, to entrust yourself into. It's who you place confidence in. It's who to be persuaded of. And in the same context, loyalty and allegiance. All of that mattered. It was relational, not intellectual. So, you got anything to add?
Not so far.
Not so far. Okay. I rule the show.
Not all the time.
No, but as much as I can.
Pretty soon.
Okay. So, in the Gospel of John, you see the phrase, you often see it, whoever believes in him. But in the Greek, John frequently uses, and I actually did some work on it, pisteo eis auton. Auton? Auton. That's a harder word. And what that meant is literally believe into him. Not believe in him, believe into him. Put your belief into him. And that is not how English works, unfortunately. So we just make it easier with believe in, because it's easier for the English language. It doesn't have as much word writing, and it's still accurate to a point. It still means the same thing, but they forget the ice word. The pisteo ice is how you say it, auton, and that ice word means into. It doesn't believe in. It doesn't mean in. So literally, believe into him. So, and it carries the idea of direction, and it gives the transfer of trust. It has a personal commitment to him, not just, oh, you know what, I believe, therefore I'm safe, I'm going to go about my way, and I'm going to dedicate my life to cars, guitars, music, tacos. It doesn't matter. Any of the above. But it's not a static awareness. It's movement. It's actually entrusting yourself onto him. And yes, we have a little wiener dog.
See your little nose sticking
getting involved. So that's a big deal. That's something. Our modern use of the word believe often means mental agreement. But John's pisteo Yeah, that Greek word pisteuo carries the idea of trust, reliance, and entrusting yourself. And so it's a lot more weight. It's a lot heavier. So, as I just said a few minutes ago, as I got it written down here, I'm making a point that belief is not a mere mental agreement. James makes this razor sharp in James 2:19. Even the demons believe. Now that's what got me going at the first. Why? How come the demons believe, but they aren't saved? They know. They were there at the start. They watched it all happen. They know the Bible better than any of us because they lived it. So, how do they not get saved? They believe. And they do have a correct theology. They acknowledge the facts. They even tremble. But they do not entrust themselves. They do not submit. They do not rely on Christ. They rely on the wrong side.
I wonder if sometimes they regret what they've done because they know. That's a whole nother subject, but I just wonder sometimes.
Whole another subject, but I suspect that they're so far twisted that they blame all the regret and all the issues on God.
Yeah, maybe.
It's his fault.
Yeah, probably. That sounds about right.
So, biblical belief must include more than just cognition. You've got to know. You've got to know more. And that's where you put your foot forward and you trust in him and you walk in him. That's how your life gets better. It's more complicated in some ways, but that's how your life gets better. So, belief involves trusting reliance. I'm not talking about the English belief. I'm talking about pisteuo. Whoever believes in him is not, I agree he exists. It's, I rely on him for life. You know, think of sitting in a chair. You don't just put your belief in a chair, you place your weight on it. That's pisteuo.
You trust that it's going to hold you.
And if it doesn't, it wasn't God.
Yes.
So it comes down to belief and lordship. So if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart, and that's from Romans 10:9. That was one of Paul's writings. Belief is paired with confessing him as Lord, which gives them control. He's the Lord. He is your boss. He is your go-to, your look up to. So, belief includes recognition of who he is, trust in what he did, and submission to his authority. It's not sinless perfection, but a surrendered posture. We are not going to go through life sinless. It just doesn't happen. We're not wired that way, unfortunately. And so, it's not a sinless perfection, like I said, but a surrendered posture. I just repeated myself, didn't I?
But yeah.
ADHD gets me again.
You know, you repeat it 3 times and it's better in your brain.
So, there is also, in that particular thing, confessing him as Lord is the word, and I'm going to try this, and I'm going to probably mess it up. Kurios. And kurios. Yeah, man, my kurios is what it meant was master, owner, sovereign, authority, leader. So when it says that him as Lord, the kurios means that he is your authority. He is a sovereign leader over you. Mm-hmm. He is your king. He is your Lord. When Paul says Jesus is kurios, not curious, there's a difference. Kurios. I'm saying that. I got to keep looking at it. Kurios. It was used for slave owners, respected authorities, for Roman emperors like Caesar is Lord, and for the Greek Old Testament Septuagint, translated the divine name of Yahweh. We know that name. Mm-hmm. So when Paul said Jesus is curious, it also meant Jesus is important. He was saying Jesus shares the divine authority of Israel's God. Pretty important there. That's a pretty big step. And belief produces obedience, but it isn't earned by it. It isn't earned by the obedience, but it produces it. It's just, they call it a side effect, you can call it a natural effect. Whatever you want to call it, it's what happens. In the Gospel of John 14:15, yeah, looks good. If you love me, you will keep my commandments. Obedience is a fruit, not an entry fee. And this is where lazy Christians Christianity breaks down. And there's a lot of it going around. I'm going to be covering a bunch of things that I was taught in previous churches that turns out not to be true. So the true belief actually changes your loyalties, it reduces desires, and it begins a transformation. You change. Once your heart changes, it starts spreading to the outside. You become a different person.
It's like when you start believing in Jesus, you change because you love him and you want to change. You don't want to do what you used to do because you love Jesus.
So you're not instantly perfected. It does not just you go in, you give your life to the Lord, you give your heart, say that the sinner's prayer is a popular one. It's not you stand up and you're perfect. Boom. It starts in the heart and it works its way out. So but you are directionally different. You actually, when you stand up, you're going in a different direction. You're changed.
Your mind is in a different spot.
Boy, if they could see my hands talking, I'm doing all kinds of sign language.
You'd think he was Italian or something.
Yes, almost. I'm Irish. That's close. They both start with an I. So, in modern English, believe got watered down because of the translation. It got simplified into something that it wasn't. It's still, well, I guess it was still, but it was kind of like the VeggieTales version of belief. And I like VeggieTales.
Oh, I do too. They're fun.
We say something, like, I believe it'll rain, or I believe in aliens. I like that one.
Yes.
And I believe that restaurant is good. Don't ever fall for that one. Oh, you're under attack. I believe the wiener dog is attacking her.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Azula.
She loves kisses.
She just wants attention. Okay. So, but none of those even count as surrender or allegiance or a reliance or any of that. It's not like you're dedicating to Christ. The biblical belief is closer to a trusting allegiance, confidence, and reliance on trusting yourself upon Christ. It's his problems now. If you trust Christ, your problems are now his. And it makes it easier to deal with them. You pray through them, you work it out with them, and just let it go.
Well, I just have to say, you're not going to automatically just remember to give them to him either. It's a little bit of a process to remember that he is now somebody you can rely on, that you can believe in, that you can trust. Sometimes you'll be in a hard spot, and it takes a minute to say, oh yeah, I've got somebody I can put this over on now. I don't need to hang on to it. I don't need to carry it by myself. I can give it to God. It takes a little bit to remember that you can do that.
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's not the new guys only. It's the old ones too.
All of us.
We a lot of times try to tackle things by ourselves that aren't our business to do so.
Right.
And when we get exhausted and we get desperate, that's when we go to Christ.
Yeah.
And it should be the first and foremost thing you do. And hopefully you get in the habit of doing it more. I don't do it 100%. I don't think she does it 100%.
Not always.
We, especially as men, we try to power our way through everything. So here is the big question that probably people are going to ask. What is saving belief? What does he actually mean when he says whoever believes in him? Well, that's important because the word belief, as we've been talking about, is not just knowledge. Saving belief is recognizing who Jesus truly is, trusting fully in his finished work. He completed it. It was done. He even said it is finished. And trusting yourself to him. That's the hard part. I'll be honest. The hard part is just saying, okay, Lord, this is yours. I'm yours. Do what you got to do. Because you don't want him to do what you got to do. You don't know what he's going to do. And most of the time, it's not what you planned.
Well, that's the hard part. You don't know what he's going to do. Trusting him and knowing that his plan and his way is going to be far better than what we ever could come up with. That's what we need to believe and trust.
And something to realize is the no right now is a better yes later on.
That's right.
You got to keep that in mind. So, and once you're done entrusting yourself, it's all part of the package. It doesn't. There's no list of order here, but receiving him, submitting to him as Lord, and depending on him alone for righteousness, because you can't do it. Now, nobody here is a good person. They all say, but I'm a good person. Guess what? You're not.
Mm-hmm.
You're better than some, better than most maybe. But
maybe you're kind. Maybe
but,
you're do good deeds. But you still have sin.
If you set your standards to man, then of course you're going to exceed. If you set your standards to God and his standards, you will fail.
Mm-hmm.
So, all of that is not mere awareness, not a mere agreement. It's not a mere emotional moment. And it's not prayer repetition. That doesn't do it either. I mean, if you're a repetitious prayer, though, I think you're a little bit closer. I don't think, I don't know.
I think repetition isn't the right word. I think prayer warrior, daily prayer warrior is a better description. Because repetition is what the Sadducees and they did in the synagogue, and we were warned against standing up and doing repetitious prayers.
For our own good.
For our own good,
yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of, I don't know, I think that we should say it differently, but
I could, but when I go to work and I'm praying on the way to work, I don't change it up. I say the same thing.
well, and it's good to continually pray for
Because
whatever it is that you want.
Well,
or
safety.
need or
Safety and,
Yes.
all that good stuff.
right.
So, anyways, to conclude this, because it's now I'm out of material. It's a personal trust in Jesus. You have to trust him. You have to follow him. You even have to obey him. And that's the problem people have. Believing in him is great. But you can believe that a strawberry shortcake tastes really good. You put your belief in that. It's accurate. It's very accurate.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nothing compared to putting your trust into the Lord, honoring him by following him, seeking his guidance, seeking his counsel. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just making him Lord of your life. That is saving grace. That is where believing really comes from, not from the shallow matter. So I hope this is informal, if I can quit falling on my tongue. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I am not going to redo this one, so you can get the sloppy talking that I have today. I hope you guys, once again, I'm repeating myself, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it taught you something.
If you have any questions too, you can always put them in the comments and we'll try to come up with some answers for you.
Yeah, or we'll ignore you. It depends on the type of comment, people.
Be nice.
Okay. So, this is Tim signing off, saying goodbye.
And Sue saying have a beautiful evening.
Day, evening,
Evening.
week, if it takes you all the
Week.
time to,
Yeah.
yeah, just enjoy life,
Yeah.
but follow the Lord.